Hello, greetings. This is Gillesmansillon. I thought I come and wish you a good day, for I am a little bit paused. I've had a very difficult week this week. It was a very huge test and challenges. I ended up finishing the week at a friend of mine who's an old friend who's a theologian, and he knows the Catholic dogma really, really well, and is also an expert Kabbalist and an excellent mineralogist. If you ask him, he will tell you I'm none of those things, but it's an excess in modesty. We all do that as well, which is okay. And so it was quite interesting. I learned a lot of things, for we always learn. But the more we seek to achieve the enlightenment, the transcendental salvation, the more we are being tested. The Buddha was tested by Mara, the king, the Lord of Demons. The Christ was tested during his passage in the desert, and even more so after in his crucifixion, for when asked to be crucified. We don't need that. But everybody, every saint, every immortal has to go through a period of test to make sure that to be humbled enough to move towards God. For only when God can be only reached through the bottom of things, cannot reach through the top of the ego. So we have to be made humble. For now I'm in a little hotel that's charming here. It's very fine. So I'm paused, and I thought I come and make this video. For there is, when we talk about the guidance is to follow his inner guidance. For we all have the presence of the divine, of God, of the all-knowing, the all-powerful God that lives within us. But there is at the beginning, the intuition only comes through signs that we see in life. We see the signs, we receive dreams, we receive intuition, and we have to pay attention to the sign, to follow as much as possible our intuition. And then little by little, the telepathic connection start to become possible. For the Christ said that God, you should consider God to be your best friend, your only friend in many sense. And so we want to listen to that inner guide, that inner spirit. At the beginning, for many years, my guides and the company of heaven was very prominent in my guidance. But for a while, for the past few years, my I am presence, God within me, has taken a dominant position within my process. For your guides are only here to emphasize, to align you with your inner guidance, with your divinity. And once this is done, they step back a little bit, but they're always there. You can always call on your angels, on your master guides, on your pathfinder guides, which is the guide of the earth plane. And so I want to ask them to make our life gracious, to make our life easy, to make our life prosper, to make our life abundant, to make our life wealthy, to make our life fun, to make our life adventurous, to make our life creative. And so we are asking that of spirit, and we are grateful for receiving that. For we can already move into the future we seek on the energetic level. So the present, the future will eventually become the present. And I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Osho Tarot to see what we have. So the situation is projection. We do not really know. We're projecting a lot of what we believe to be the future. The future will be different. For it was two people, they haven't met each other, but they know they're going to meet, and they have a certain idea of what the other will look. And so it is about not projecting too much. It's okay to cultivate our higher dream, to continue to ask the universe of what we want, to make those steps forwards towards God. But for once we discover God, we'll realize the highest possibility of our earth plane. God is very kind, and He knows all those things that are good for us, and so we'll get what we need. What goes around the situation is totality. It requires the totality of our attention, to put our focal attention into this point of freedom, this abundance, this point of freedom, and not to allow ourselves to be distracted by the past as much as possible. What we see before us that will unfold in our conscious mind, that will unfold before us, is adventures. New adventure is a little child that go wander into the wood in the middle of the night. We have to be courageous, but life has to be an adventure as much as possible. Very soon we'll be free. Right now there's a big period of cleansing, both personally. We have to clean up our personal life, and then the world will follow. In our subconscious, our distant past is comparison. We've been shown all the states, every state and its opposite. So we know what we really want. Where we are now is the politics. It's the idea of dropping the mask, because the more someone wants to put a very clear mask in front, the darker his darker side become. So it's about seeing the things behind the veil, see what the intentions of people. Although Aristotle said that we cannot judge someone by his intention, we can only judge him by his action. Now we have to become sensitive enough to see the intention, and to try to align with the people who have good intention within themselves. what we and with ourselves, and follow what we see. What's coming up in the near future is a sudden change. Here is the fighter. So sometimes we don't need to fight against ourselves. We need to find this inner point of presence. That is, for the presence. Once you are the presence of God, there is really nothing. Everything is in place. That's the only thing you want to be, is to go from the present to the presence and drop the shield, drop the fight. Although it's announcing some big changes, our strength in the situation, what represents us, is trust. It's the card of trust. It's about leaping. It's about jumping into the air, to trust. The more we trust, the more we surrender, the faster the flow will come. What comes to us from the outside world is a wonderful card of breakthrough. It is a breakthrough. So there is a breakthrough that is happening, for it is about time. It is the fruits are ripe, and so we have to accept with gratitude what is coming. What we feel in our inner emotion is postponement, for we're still looking at this wonderful picture, but we still feel outside of it. We can't really feel like we can move into the picture, but we see it is there, so it is a good sign. And the outcome will be a rebirth. It's from this camel that's like completely asleep to this bright lion that will be awakening, and from there we'll be able to move into sharing. There's going to be a great deal of sharing that will be happening, for life is about sharing. We are sharing life. We have to become administrators of all our resources: mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, material, financial, our time and energy. How do we manage our time and energy in this new age? For we follow the inner guidance. The inner guides, our God self, knows all those things. It is our soul that is speaking to us quietly, and so we want to follow as much as possible the plans of our soul, and to stay attuned. I'm going to pull 4 more cards. I'm going to sing a little song that went through my mind this morning when I woke up. So I sang it again. It's from Jimi Hendrix. It's called Angel. Angel come down from heaven yesterday. She stayed with me just long enough to rescue me. And she tell me a story yesterday about the love between the moon and the deep blue sea. And when it was time for her to go, she spread her wing high over me, and she say, I shall return tomorrow. And I say, fly on, my sweet angel, fly on through the sky. Fly on, my sweet angel, tomorrow I will be by your side. And sure enough, this morning comes to me, where silver winged silhouette against the glow of a child's sunrise. And as the bluebirds and sparrows envy me, she said, I love you, little boy, and today you shall fly. She kissed me once, and the feeling so good she made me cry. And now we fly together. And I say, fly on, my sweet angel, fly on through the sky. Fly on, my sweet angel, together we shall always be alive. So we're very close to this point of release, this point of connection with our angel that will free us, will feel this eternal love and connection. So we want to continue regardless of the obstacles, and to trust within ourselves, to silent self be true, to trust your inner self, trust your guidance, for it is the essential message of the day I wanted to communicate today. And so the highest wisdom for us is the message in the bottles, about following the signs, listening to the signs that life is the message in the bottle. So there is those messages that have been, our soul have placed all kinds of clues along the way, and we have to find them, for they're everywhere and in all things. For God cannot be outside of anything, so He has to be in all things. It's just we just got to move into presence, and then life will reveal itself. What we need to understand is peace, is inner peace. It's finding that all things are perfect, everything will unfold according to the will of God. To surround ourselves to this peace, there is no more need to fight anything, for the world is going to be transforming itself regardless of We don't need to come to war against the dark or anything like that. This is just a negative standpoint that will continue to fuel the power of the dark. So finding this inner peace, what we need to do is the why, to know, to understand, to ask this question why. And so we do want to resolve some things we'll not be able to figure out, for they will reveal themselves later. So be content with the answers that you have right now, and it's okay to continue to ask yourself questions. And the outcome will be the time of departure, for there is this great stairway that is going to be open before us. There's a new cycle that is before us, and so we stand in gratitude for the new life, because Dante, this wonderful book of poetry called The New Life, I recommend it. It's about starting a new life. Today is a new day, a new life, and a new week, a new month, and those coming months will be extremely. There's going to be a lot of events, so we want to find ourselves posed and to find this point of comfort and security, where we will be able to experience all of this like in the eye of the hurricane. And so do not be confused by whatever is happening now, for all is changing. Just focus on asking what you want of the universe, and know the universe, you deserve what you've been asking for, and the universe is completely qualified to bring it to you. I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste.